Radio London.
9:10 Inspirit, your Sunday breakfast show here on BBC Radio London. I'm Ed Adoo. Good morning. I hope all is well, whatever you're up to today. Robert Elms is coming up at 10 o'clock. Going to be catching up with Robert just before the end of the show to find out what's coming up on his show. But this coming Wednesday sees the opening of the 10th edition of the London Breeze Film Festival. The opening gala film is the Banjo Boys, which explores the Malawian duo, the Madalitso Band, which saw them go from busking in the streets to performing at Glastonbury. It's the directional debut from Johan Nayar, and Johan joins us on the line now. Johan, thank you very much for the time and welcome to BBC Radio London.
Hi Ed, how you doing?
Not too bad. This is an amazing story, and it feels as if it's organic, it's independent. Take us back to your connection and tell us how it happened.
Well, it's actually more my brother, really. He went out to Malawi with a one-way ticket, and the first time we saw him back in Europe was in 2017, and he came to Lyon with this band, Madalitso Band, and they played a little show there, and me and my mum got on the Eurostar, and it was a really great show, and a couple of years later, they had a week. I spent a week with them in the UK, WOMAD, and a few other music festivals. And I just took my DSLR camera and filmed it and made a little documentary, and really got on well with the guys. We had a lot of banter. They said I was their new manager and they were going to sack my brother. So yeah, it was a good fun banter with them as well.
I love the family connection as well. What was unique about them? What did you like? Because clearly you and your brother saw something in these guys which made you think, "Gosh, we've got to work with them."
For me, it just seemed like an amazing story. And when I was filming them, I was trying to find out, as a storyteller, I was trying to find out, well, what's the backstory? Kept digging and finding really amazing stories, like the story of Rice, which has a bit of a spoiler alert, but that was an incredible story, one of the original band members, and the drama of his life and how his life took a very different direction to Yobun Yosefe. And I don't know, for example, Yosefe, me and him, we don't even speak a few words of each other's languages, but yet we have a vibe through music, because I'm a musician originally as well, and my brother is a singer-songwriter, so we had this strong musical bond as well.
So it was the musical bond which connected you guys. And also, Yubo and Yosefe, their backstory, or what they experienced, it felt as if it was a rags to riches story, or certainly a challenging story from the early bit of their lives.
Yes, absolutely. They left their villages to go to the capital city, Lilongwe, and they sort of met each other there and built their own instruments by hand, pretty much. Instead of going to a guitar shop, they would go to
hand. Wow.
Yes, the baritone is a 7-foot bass, and every baritone is different, and the string is actually not a guitar string. It's a brake cable from a lorry, for example, for the baritone, which is the thicker one, and then the motorcycle cables for what they call the banjo, which is the 4-string instrument that Yosefe plays. And
it makes you think, we can, when I'm finished, talking to you, as in when the show ends, if I want to go and buy a musical instrument, I can just walk down Tottenham Court Road or to the Denmark Street, or some of those shops which are still there, or any musical shop in London, and get access to equipment. But for them, that wasn't the case. If they wanted something, they had to make it from scratch.
Yeah, the industriousness of the band is just out of this world. But also, it's not even so much, I don't think they would even want to, if there was access to all that stuff, they wouldn't even want to. It's we build our own sound, this is one of the sort of unique elements of this story, is for me, it's not really like a poor me story. It's more we've had struggles, but we've got resilience, industriousness, and we're going to just And there's an amazing, it's not really a spoiler, but there's an amazing moment in the band story when they changed their name from, I think it was TS, which means we try. And the lady said, no, if you keep the band name We Try, you'll be trying forever. And they changed the name to Madalitso Band, which means blessings. And I think that was kind of symbolic of the change of their fortunes as well.
Johan, I can hear it in your voice. This wasn't just about filming or inviting your mum or your brother, the family getting together on Eurostar to go and see the guys. This felt like a personal achievement where you wanted to, accomplish something which had a sense of meaning.
Yes, absolutely. I've always had a strong interest in world music, which included African music. I've jammed with like Dele Sosimi, who's from the Afrobeat Orchestra. So he's, and funny enough, on that mini tour in 2019, we were sort of the act before Dele, so we got to catch up with him there. And so this sort of African music elements and sort of there's something that even my brother's more into than me, but we were both sort of into these into the world music scene, including films and music like Buena Vista Social Club. That was actually one of our biggest influences film-wise, and I felt it sort of paralleled Buena Vista and even Searching for Sugar Man in some ways.
And a scene and a movement and a genre of music which often doesn't get the love that it should get. I mean, I grew up, my dad's a jazz musician, and there was a lot of sort of high life and Ghanaian music, played at home in the early 80s. And people like, Ebo Taylor or Fela Kuti. I mean,
of course.
For me, they were, in terms of connections or trying to place where the roots and the culture comes from, for me, they were like the architects. I mean, Ebo's still with us, I believe, and thank God he's still around. I think he's in his early 80s and he's still jamming. He's still releasing and making tracks. But not to sound like a snob, it's great that we have the new sound of Afrobeat or the youngsters or they determine or kind of call it Afrobeat. It's not like the originals. It's not like what those guys do, because I feel as if what you were saying, this was about blood, sweat and tears, making the music, but it had some sort of purpose to it. There was a story connected. It wasn't just about releasing the track. The track was released because someone had experienced something, or some heartache or bereavement or joy. There was some sort of connection. And from what you've described, Madalitso, I believe that's what encapsulates or makes them unique, because they've experienced, well, possibly some of those aspects or all of them.
Yeah, I totally get everything you just said, and it's almost like a return to storytelling in a way as well, because I think there's also a country music revival as well at the moment, and all these things kind of run in parallel, like the more electronic kind of Afro beats, and what we were hearing a lot in Malawi was Amapiano. It's like really catchy and a really nice
Amapiano sound. Yeah, and for someone who doesn't know about Amapiano, I would say it's a more down tempo sound of house music, but it's more bassy, and it feels. I'm going to describe it as a split fingered donut, where at the top of the donut you just put added cream and you put more cherries or raspberries at the top. Is that the best way of describing? Is that the best way?
I don't know. That's quite an interesting concept.
I've even confused myself there, thinking, Ed, what the hell are you talking about? How can you describe Amapiano to a split fingered donut? That's random.
I don't know. Well, I know for sure it was playing in the clubs a lot in Malawi after the after show when we were having Malawi gin, a little bit of that. And
what's that like?
We got very into it.
What's Malawi gin like, by the way?
I don't know. I'm not really a gin drinker, but it was something we could have a bit of after the show, and because we did the Malawi tour, which was a part of the film as well. And so going back to the roots story quickly, I feel like this, there's some it's about the authenticity of the band and the storytelling. And even though the one powerful thing about the documentary is you get to see the lyrics, because all the lyrics are translated. So the audiences love the sound, love the vibe, but most of the time, unless you have a Malawian or a Zambian crew, or maybe Zimbabwe, I think, who understand the language, it's more about the vibe and the feeling. But actually, when you get into the lyrics, they're really like strong lyrics, and it's kind of catchy music for sure.
So, catchy music, it's about the language, it's about the vibe. But for you as a filmmaker, what did you want to get out of the film? What did you want people to, for viewers and for people watching to get the portrayal of Malawian music, the duo, and everything centered around them?
I think one of the things as a team, we wanted to actually sort of showcase Malawi as a place to visit with incredible music. It's actually one of the safest countries in Africa, and it's absolutely stunning. It's just really beautiful, and you go there, you get to see bands, you get to it's a bit off the beaten track in a way, so they don't really have the infrastructure yet, but it's something that's definitely building, and the lake is it's like a paradise really, and it's a little, I mean, we don't want it to get overcrowded or anything either, but it is a stunning country, and the people are just, there are a few countries I've been to where people are just really warm. I enjoyed going to Colombia, for example, and Malawi is sort of on that sort of level of friendliness and warmth from the people.
I'm glad you've got all this documented in the documentary, in the film. Did you ever envisage or think that you'd get to this point now that you'd have everything recorded and it would end up appearing or being part of the London Breeze Film Festival?
I mean, my sort of film career has been growing. My last film was called The Chase. It was an adventure documentary about a guy who he built a snow sailor, and he sailed it around like Scandinavia and Antarctica. And that film sort of went around the film festival circuit a bit. So it's sort of building one project upon the next and keeping a bit of momentum. So I was always hopeful. I was really grateful to the London Breeze Film Festival. Not only are we selected, but we're also opening the entire festival, as you mentioned, on Wednesday.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
And to be just, on a great lineup. There's we've got a double bill that night, Shoot the People, by the director, Andy Mundy Castle, is on the same night, which is about the photographer, Misa Harriman. And so we've got two great films on in one night. And I just think it's going to be an amazing first day for the festival. And I'm just really excited to have, because I'm sort of I live in Bournemouth, but I'm from London really. So we're going to have a big family contingent there, and it'd be a nice get together.
But what is it like for you as a filmmaker? Because when I'm not on the radio, I've got a couple of ideas which I've tried to pitch to TV channels to get commission. And I had a recent conversation with one of the heads of the major channels, and they said, "Look, we're not commissioning TV. We're not commissioning programs because what they perceive to be the linear space, which is people watching TV live, that whole market is collapsed." I mean, they were giving me figures of what people are, the figures people watching, say, TV at 9 in the evening. The figures have gone down. So for you as a filmmaker, what keeps you enthusiastic? What keeps the enthusiasm alive and also connected to Madalitso, trying to reach out to as many audiences as possible?
For me, I mean, the main thing is the love of the craft, and because I also edit as well, so I spend a lot of time I'm quite a sort of extroverted person, but I can also have this introverted side where I can just sit for days and edit and edit and edit. And,
you are a perfectionist.
Yeah, kind of. My wife thinks I'm a computer as well, so I just go into that mode, and I'll just sit there and refine it. And our executive producer is Emmanuel Anyam Osigwe, who's quite influential in the film scene in the UK, and our producer is a German entrepreneur called Tim Delhaize. And sort of we've got a really good team where, for example, Emmanuel said, just get to a rough cut, and then Tim will be he'll just put all the pieces in place, so I can focus really on the kind of creativity elements and not have to worry too much about the sort of producing side. Not heavily. I do a little bit of producing, but yeah, it's just that feeling of getting it done and then suddenly having that film out there and people watching it. And we've done a few previews, for example, here in Bournemouth and in Southampton, where we showed like a shortcut, did a Q&A, and then had the band play, which was just all around amazing. Yeah,
and what was the feedback? What was the feedback like from the screening and people watching the band live?
Oh yeah, it was just like I think that was an event that people in Bournemouth won't forget for a long time. It just had a really nice.
You should have done that here in London. You should have come to. Listen, I know you're from Bournemouth. I'm not being rude. Forget Bournemouth. You should come to London.
I know. So so the band, because they go back they only come here for a few months. So this is absolutely on the agenda for their next UK tour, is to have the full screening and have the band play. So yeah, that is definitely on the cards. But we have to wait. We have to wait and sync up with their tour dates with some screening dates, potentially in the same venue, and it's on the cards. And thank you for the suggestion. London is top of our list.
And also you've got support from the fantastic, the fabulous Keris Matthews as well, who I believe she's championed the guys as well.
Yes, she's we're still trying to get her along to the premiere, though we haven't been able to reach her properly. But Keris, if you're out there or listening, please come to the premiere.
Keris, I think often listens to BBC Radio London. Keris, I'll leave you and Johan to sort that, and hopefully you can go and check the guys out. Just a reminder. So it's Wednesday is the opening. What next for you and the guys, apart from touring and fingers crossed the film getting lots of admiration and love once it's premiered?
So I think we've just had news in today of our North American premiere. It's going to be in New York. I'm still waiting for all the details to come through. And they have a show in New York coming up as well. So they've just got, I think it's a one-off show. So that's what's next for the guys. And then for us together as a team, we've just got to see what comes through our sales agent's work, who has been out who I met out in Cannes in 2023, and they're putting together a cinema run, hopefully in the first month of next year. And we do actually have a screening at the British Urban Film Festival the day after the London Breeze, so that's going to be on the 23rd. We've got a bit of a, when you wait for the buses and then two come along.
I was going to say that you guys know, and what I sense from what you're saying, you and your brother have become more or less the eyes and ears of the band, more or less management.
Yes. So my brother is the sort of de facto manager, especially on tour. There is a guy called Emmanuel Kamwenje, who is based out of Malawi. He's the guy who sort of really, really found them. And then he introduced them to Neil, and then that's when that synergy took place. So Emmanuel's still on the scene, but my brother, he's their roadie, he's their translator, he's the manager, he's the guy who gets them fed, he's the guy who gets them home at night. He drives them all around. So he's like an all-round manager. He's got big skills there, I think. He speaks French quite well. He learned the language Chichewa very well.
He does everything. We've got to big up your brother. I have to see the guys live. Please keep me in the loop when there's going to be some London dates, and congratulations with also the screening in not just here in London but also stateside as well. Please keep us in the loop. What a story! A story that more or less I think both you and your brother built, orchestrated, and champion, believing in these guys. I think that's the important thing. If you didn't believe or like what they're about or what they do in the music, then you wouldn't support them.
No, totally. And when you see a live set, it builds. I mean, I as you know, with the Amapiano and the Afrobeats, I'm quite partial towards electronic music. But when you see a set, they can actually, at Glastonbury, they slotted into an electronic set in one of the venues where they just had like DJ, Madalitso Band, DJ, and it went off because they build you up very slowly, and then it's like, when a DJ layers up, and by the end, like everyone's sort of raving basically. Yeah. But I also just want to big shout out to Madeline Casey of the London Breeze Festival for really sort of believing in us as well. So we believed in the band, but they believed in us so much that they managed to negotiate with British Urban Film Festival to get premiere as well. So thank you to them, and Sam as well, who's there, and Jerry, who's in PR. Yeah.
Can't wait to watch it. Johan, thank you very much for the time. That was Johan Nayar, his debut as a director on this, the Banjo Boys, which explores the story of the Malawian duo Madalitso Band. And I just want to see these guys live, because I think from building or creating instruments from scratch and sharing their stories and their experiences, that's what a real musician or musicians do. If you want to find out more on the London Breeze Film Festival, you can head to londonbreezefilmfestival.com. If you want to find out more about the Banjo Boys and Johan's work, you can go to johannayar.com. johannayar.com.